Hello, hi, good evening, and a very warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. As always, we are going to allow a couple of minutes to everyone to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, we will discuss few important points. The first one is how are you going to get the maximum benefit from today's webinar. In order to get the maximum benefit, it is important that you should get absolute clarity about the information that I'm going to share with you. Now, for that, it is important that all the doubts, all the questions, etc., which are there in your mind, they are all clarified. Now, how will you get those clarified? You have to ask your question. Now, because we are in a webinar format, so you don't have an option to unmute your mic and ask the question. For that, you have to use two tools. One is question and answer, and that is something I would recommend that you should be using specifically for asking questions, right? So when you have a question, that's where you should be using the question and answer option. Now, where is that option? So if you look down below in the navigation bar, there is an option which has a question mark on top of it. If you are joining through a smartphone, in that case it is hidden, but if you click on the action items, that's where you will find that option, and you have to use that option. All right, so that's one. Second option that we are going to use is the chat, which we are going to use to share our observations, our thoughts, our feedbacks, etc. Now, so for interactions with me, that's where we are going to use chat, and for questions, we are going to use Q&A. Now, before we get started, I will very quickly look into the live stream because most of you won't want to have the recording of today's webinar. And for that, it is crucial that the live stream should be working fine. So let me just quickly check on that, and I will be back with you. I can see there's a comment, Sir Voice. Hope I'm audible to everyone because on my screen I can see in the meter the audio is okay. So can anyone from the audience can confirm if my audio is okay? Yeah, because on my meter also I can see audio is clear. So Manjunathan, kindly check. There may be an issue with your device, or you can try stepping out of the webinar and joining back again. Sometimes that fixes it, or sometimes there's a issue with the configuration. So Zoom tends to select a wrong speaker, and because of that, the audio may not be uh, audible, or I may not be audible. But I have cross-checked before starting the webinar. The audio is working fine. All right, I was about to check on the live stream, so let me quickly check on that, and I will be back with you. As I was mentioning that this is used, the live stream is used for two things. One is to live stream on Global Linker, also on YouTube. So any participants who are joining us through Global Linker as well as on YouTube, you are also welcome to today's webinar. And second is to provide all of you the recording of this session. So for that, the live stream is used. So I will quickly check on that if it is working fine. Yes, it is working fine. And although I've already said that, but I'm just going to repeat it categorically that you all are going to get the recording of today's webinar, and we will email it to you after today's session. All right, so let's begin. I believe we have already spent 4 minutes of your precious time. So let's not take any more of your valuable time, and let's move ahead. I'm going to very quickly move these chat and question answer window onto the other monitor. And at any given point in time, if you find me looking to the side, that's where I'm looking at the other monitor where I have the chat and Q&A open. So I will just quickly move them, and I will just expand the chat so that I can see it in a better way. Right? That's good. Perfect. So we are all set, and this is where let's begin. Let's get started. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and while I do so, I am going to give a brief introduction about myself because I am not sure how many of you are familiar with me or who I am and what do I do, etc. And I've just started talking to you. So let's start with a quick introduction about myself. My name is Adnan. I'm Director Digital Commerce at Global Inker. I have about 20 years of experience in digital and technology. And at Global Inker, there are two distinct roles which I play. One is of a business head, wherein I head all the digital commerce related products and initiative. The second is of a public speaker and trainer, and I'm in front of you in that role. I conduct a lot of training sessions, webinars, workshops, conferences, etc. And I had the wonderful opportunity and blessing to have conducted more than 500 such sessions over the past more than half a decade. And have shared a little bit of knowledge with about 12,000 businesses in various countries. So that's a quick introduction about myself. Now let's begin because we have to do a lot of discussion, and that's where I would need or request a active participation from all of you. And before we go any further, there's a special offer for all of you and I'll share that towards the end of the session. And yeah, so that's where I would request all of you to be with us or with me toward till the end of the session. So this is where let's formally begin. Let's get started. So once again, good evening and a very warm welcome to all the friends who are joining us here. And I believe no one will have an objection me calling you a friend. So let's begin. Five biggest digital mistakes that Indian exporters make, which is or are impacting their visibility and costing them discoverability, leads, orders, and business. So let's move ahead. We'll skip that. Now, this is something which almost in every webinar, and if you're someone who you may have already heard me saying that the landscape is changing, how we do things are changing. So, for example, I'll give you my own example. Now, if I had to conduct a webinar, and for that, I would generally create the presentations myself. Now, I don't do that. Is it not like I haven't become lazy? It is just that now I have a tool that can do that in matter of minutes, so I don't have to invest my time and energy. Now, similarly, your buyers who are your potential customers, they are also doing the same thing. They are using AI extensively, and this is something which I'm sharing as a personal experience. Sometime back, or about a week back, I was talking to one of my friend who heads procurement for a large organization in Middle East, and I was trying to understand like what is the kind of impact AI is making in their day-to-day processes. So there are two impacts which have happened. The one which is not that significant but is important, that is where for their evaluation. So as a supplier, when you're submitting the quotations, those quotations are evaluated by AI. So earlier it was done by human and there were chances of personal biases, etc. But now it is AI that is evaluating and they are deciding which is a better supplier or more suitable supplier. So that's one. Second is earlier whenever a supplier used to reach out to them, they used to do the evaluation themselves. They'll Google online, search, find different information to understand about them, and then they'll move ahead to do meeting or onboard them. But now that is not happening. They are not investing their time. They are simply using AI, and AI is doing the supplier evaluation. Now, why it is important for you, or why am I sharing this story with you? Because many exporters, when I personally talk to them or interact with them, they share with me that I directly reach out to international buyers or procurement managers, and that's how I do the business. Now, there in that process or in that equation wherein you are directly reaching out to the procurement manager, still there is now a AI layer which you have to cross. Now, if you are not, or if your business is not AI discoverable, or AI is not able to understand about your business, if I have to say it simply, if AI doesn't understand about your business, then AI recommending you after that evaluation is obviously questionable. Plus, a lot of them, when they are looking out, so one scenario is you are reaching out to them, the second scenario is they are looking out, they are searching for suppliers. That's where again AI saves time. So instead of spending hours and hours on the internet looking for suppliers, going through the website, going through the different pages, they have to just give the criteria. They have to just write a prompt and give the criteria, what they are looking at, what type of certification, what type of specifications, and AI does everything for them and in matter of minutes. So that's where they are saving their time and they are also saving themselves. Now you'll say, how so? How are they saving themselves? Because understand, from a buyer's perspective and a professional buyer's perspective, there's a huge risk associated, and especially with professional buyers, it is almost like with every transaction, they're sort of putting their own livelihood at stake. Because if something goes wrong, obviously their job comes into question. So that's why with the use of AI, they are also able to mitigate or minimize that risk, because that's where AI is doing that evaluation. So even psychologically, obviously things can go wrong at any stage. You must be thinking, but at least psychologically, I have that peace of mind. Okay, AI is recommend. That's where it should be good, right? So even psychologically, it is giving them that confidence, right? So it is changing. I'm not going to repeat everything and take your time, because the agenda of today's webinar is to help you understand what are the biggest mistakes. And I'm going to try to spend more time there rather than explaining. And this is something which I understand or believe that almost all of you understand, that you have to become AI discoverable as exporters. There are no two questions about it. You have to, or you must become AI discoverable. Otherwise, it will impact your business negatively. All right. So let's move ahead. Right now, this is something which I've already spoken. So I'm going to skip these slides and we will straight away go to the first mistake. Now, what is the first mistake? And it is something which I have experienced almost everyone. There are far and few, very few businesses which I have seen that don't make this mistake. Now, because the slide is visible to you, that's where it is. The mistake is no intentional presence. Now, I don't think you are able to understand what does no intentional presence means. So when you firstly, how many of you have websites? If you have website, you can type yes, or you can provide the URL in the chat. So how many of you have website? Chat, share your inputs. Okay, so we have different inputs from Rachna ji, from Akbar, and then we have Grover Groves and Prerna ji. So all of you are confirming yes, you have a website. Now, when you were creating that website, when you are getting that built, what was your intention? Right? So were you looking at it as something which is required because everyone has a website? So you also got the website created, right? Was that your intention, or you wanted to generate business out of it? If that was your intention, that you were intentional, that I have to generate business out of it, I have to become discoverable. If that was the intention, how did you go about it? What did you do to achieve that, right? So just let me know in the chat, like what was your intention while you were building the website. But because there's something where we'll have to do a lot of discussion, so I'll move on and you can keep sharing your inputs in the chat. But what I have personally observed, and this is where I am talking based on my experience of interaction with almost like 500 exporters, that's where the realization is most of them, barring few, they are not intentional. Okay, I want to start an export business, I need a website. Okay, get the website created. It is more like a stepping stone, or one of the tick marks which is there in your resume, that okay, I have done this, and there's no intention, or there's no logic behind it. You are not intentional. Now, the most important, or the biggest issue, is that you are not intentional, because this is where unless you are intentional, unless you are wanting to do it with an objective, you'll not be able to achieve that objective, right? So if I have to go to Delhi, I have that intention, I have that objective that I have to go to Delhi, and then I'll start figuring out, okay, what are the different routes? So, okay, there are three different routes which I can take, and which is the shortest route? So this is the shortest route, but there's construction work happening, so it may not be efficient, right? So I'll try to figure out, right? So your destination is important. You have to be intentional. So if you are intentional while you're building the website, that my intention is to become better discoverable, then you'll do the rest of the things, right? If you are not intentional, you'll not try to figure out like how can I become more discoverable. Obviously you are not an expert, so you'll research, you'll talk to people, you'll talk to your agency, and you'll get the website built that way because you were not intentional. The website that you got built is also not intended to improve or provide you any discoverability. That is the biggest hole that I've seen in exporters' digital presence, right? So you are not intentional. That's where you just thought of having the website, good to have thing, and whatever content, and a lot of time uh, not providing the content, whatever the agency has added, all that is moving ahead. So, firstly, if you want to become, and this is where, because I had been talking about AI and I was deliberately talking about that because if you have to become AI discoverable, or if you have a dream that I should become AI discoverable, you'll not be able to do that unless you are intentional about it. I have to become AI discoverable because it requires a lot of content and other stuffs to do. So unless you are intentional, you'll not be able to achieve it, right? So you have to be intentional. You have to be purposeful for doing that, right? So first is that. Second is, and I'll skip the second slide. The second is over reliance on agency. This is another second biggest mistake I have seen, that you have hired someone, whatever they create, right? So a lot of time we ourselves also make websites and we also get the same thing. Okay, whatever you would want to create. Our model is different because that's where we are intentionally creating websites which are to make you AI discoverable. So obviously we go that step and do the research, etc. But that's where most of the businesses, when they are getting their websites created, they just rely on agency. Create whatever you want. You're an expert. You should be knowing what should be. Now this is where understand that person doesn't have an expertise in your product, right? So I am a technology expert, but I'm not good at product like you, right? So you are the product expert. So unless you are leading from the product side, I can be your partner. I can lead from the technology side, but I can't lead from the product side. Product side has to be led by you, right? So we have to join hands and together we have to march. It is not like a I am the only one who's going to march. If that is happening, obviously it may not be that good, or the outcome may not be good because the person is not an expert. And a lot of websites I've personally seen, they just copy paste the content, right? So the same content is there in different websites. Interestingly, I was looking at one gentleman's website, and after that, I came to another website, and almost the same content happens that both the websites were made by the same agency. They didn't even bother to change the content. It is like the name is changed and everything else is the same. For them, it does not matter as long as you are not getting involved into it. How does that matter? And both the websites were ready live, and the person didn't even knew. Now, on many websites, and this is where, let's be honest, and I need honest opinion from you, there may be testimonials on your website and with images. Now, how many of you have actual customer images in the testimonials? Because in many websites I've seen that people have added random images, AI generated images, or random images. If you reverse search that image is there in 50 different websites, and in every website that person has a different name. Now, do you think if I can find that your buyer can't find you, and when they find you, they'll perceive you as a dishonest person in organization, and are not going to proceed ahead? They'll see that you're trying to fool them by adding these wrong things. You shouldn't do that. So that's where it again comes back to over reliance on agency, because you have just handed it over all to them. No, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be leading from the product side. Whatever information is required, you should be providing. Otherwise, whatever gets created will never give you the right discoverability. That is for sure, right? So it is almost like trying to reach somewhere. You don't know how to drive, you know the direction, and the other person don't know the direction, but and doesn't know drive, right? So you'll not be able to reach there. So digital or agency has the website setup expertise. You should bring in the product expertise, join hands, march together. That's where you will be able to reach the destination. All right. So this is the second biggest mistake. Moving on to the third one, conservative information. And this is also related to the previous example I was telling, or mistake number two. And that is when you are getting your websites created, that's where you are again over reliant on the agency. So agency said, okay, you should have a about us page, and you should have this page, and that's it. Whatever, you move ahead, and that's why you don't have enough information on the internet about yourself, about your organization. So someone is wanting to look for a supplier, they're looking for you. There is very few pieces of information available. There's nothing information on your certification, the type of products, the infrastructure, or your certification, your ethical sourcing, or sustainable, or the environmental impact that you're making, right? So nothing is available. Now, if that is not available, and unlike human beings, so even if I find the information, I may go to different places, or I may call you and take the information. Okay, I'm looking for a supplier, but you haven't spoken about or mentioned the certification. Can you elaborate which all certification do you have? That is a human being doing. AI will not do that. So that's where, if you don't have enough information on your website, your chances of getting discovered are absolutely zero, right? So that's where it is very, very important that you should be as detailed as possible, right? So traditional websites, when you used to go, they'll have one or two pages, but not anymore. If you have to become AI discoverable, and if you are intentional about it, you have to add each and every piece of information which is relevant to your business, right? So your potential buyer, whatever information they may need to understand you, everything should be there on your website, whether it requires creating 5 pages or whether it requires creating 20 pages of information. It should be there on your website, right? And it is not that complex also. If you do little bit of research, you'll be able to understand what are the important pieces of information which should be there on your website. And I'll try to explain this with an example. The two other points which were I was sharing, they are very important, but obviously, I can't explain them with an example, but this is where this is a website which I'm showing you. Now, in the traditional websites, you may generally have one or two pages about the company. There may be multiple pages about the products and other things, but about the organization, one or two products. But this where this business is intentional in becoming AI discoverable. And this is where you can see how many pages are there. So there's a page about them, there's a page about their export process, there's a page about the quality assurance and the lab testing that they are doing, because obviously this is a personal care product. So it requires that kind of testing, etc. Then there's a page about their certification. And this is where, again, a lot of businesses, when I was reviewing their websites, they have just added the logo. Anyone can add logo. I can add logo. I can add logos of all the certifying authorities in the world, who no one is stopping me. But if I'm not certified, and just by adding logo, AI will not be convinced that you are certified. You have to provide the certifications, and yes, AI can come in. It can also review the certification, right? So you have to go to this level of detailing, sourcing, sustainability, testimonials, and case studies. Everything should be there. So whatever the question is, your website should be able to answer that, right? So just imagine your website is your spokesperson. So AI is coming to the spokesperson and asking the question. Your spokesperson should be able to answer that question. That is the mistake number three. And this where we could have, but in the interest of time, we can move ahead, but I can also do that. You can share your website URLs and I can review it and share the inputs. But hope I'm able to explain it properly and you are able to absorb it, that if you have 1 or 2 pages about your business, then you are not AI discoverable, because AI will not be able to understand, right? So your spokesperson doesn't know about you. If the spokesperson doesn't know about you, how will it answer to AI, right? So that's where this is the third biggest mistake. Now, I have received a very interesting counter question, right? So the person, a gentleman, asked me that, okay, you're talking a lot about the business information, but isn't it that happening that generally the research or the search is for the product, right? So the product is the crucial part. It doesn't matter that much, right? So that was that person's question. Now, that person is right. That person is not wrong. That the search is mostly for the product. Right? So no one is going to come and look for Global Inker or ABC Enterprises or XYZ Enterprises or premium exports or ethical exports. Uh, they'll not be looking for that unless they are wanting to research about you. They'll be looking for the product: black pepper, basmati rice, castor oil, fox nuts, those kind of things. That's where the product is crucial. That's where that statement from that gentleman is absolutely correct. But in addition to that, because when an international buyer is using AI, they're not just looking for find me buyers for basmati rice. Obviously, the results which will come will be vague. So they are giving specifications and what type of certifications that business must be having, and the other details, what type of sourcing they should be doing, etc., or what type of admixture should be there, or type of moisture content should be there. So those kind of details they will be adding, and based on that, or based on those specifications or criterias that that person or procurement manager has specified, AI is going to search for that, right? So even if AI has found you, so this is where, imagine, or let's take a hypothetical example. The person was looking for importing black pepper from India, and they were looking for Malabar M1 grade, and it should have 4 grain size, 12% moisture content, or no, 5% moisture content, 12% admixture, that kind of details, and certain certifications they were requiring with the medical test or laboratory tests, etc. So they have given all that. Now the person has found, let's say, 5 exporters, but out of those 5 exporter, only 3 of them or 2 of them had information, this information about the certification. The others didn't had information about the certifications, etc. Now, because you have the information about other things but not about the certifications that the person has put in or asked AI to consider, that's where again it is not going to recommend you, because you haven't provided the answer, right? So it is again, just imagine your website is the spokesperson. AI is asking that question. If your spokesperson doesn't answer, it will go to other spokesperson from the other person's website, right? So that is where having this is super, super crucial. Business information is super crucial. Otherwise, AI is not able to understand, and it will not move ahead, right? So if you don't have these informations, then AI think, are you real? Are you a genuine organization? And will you be able to handle bulk and those kind of things? And are you compliant, which comes to certifications, etc. Right? So now lack of these information obviously is costing you business. Missing product. This is the point which I was already explaining or talking about. Now, missing product is wherein you have not added the product. So, in most of the websites, when I was reviewing, there will be one page wherein broadly you're talking about that I deal in Agri, I deal in Jaggery, I deal in this and that's it. No detail information, etc. Nothing is there. Now, if you have done that, that's where you are out in the first lag of the race, right? So imagine it as a relay race where the different stages. So in the first stage itself, you are out because the search is happening for the product, right? So the gentleman is looking for black pepper. Now, if you haven't been deliberate about adding black pepper and also mentioning that it is Malabar and M1 grade and all that information, then your chances of being recommended, or even forget about recommended, being included in the evaluation are not there, right? So AI knows not going to. So right, that's where, for a moment, if I just switch the screen, that's where you have to be very, very detailed with your product uploads and information. This is where I will take, let's take this Attar as an example, essential oil or perfume concentrate. Now here, if the person is looking for that and they want it as a private label, unless this product is uploaded like this, right? So it has its own presence on the internet. It has its own visibility on the internet, right? So if the person is wanting to look for them, they'll be able to find. So unless you haven't gone to this kind of a detail, the chances are you will not get discovered. Now, many exporters I've talked to, they say that we are a merchant exporter and we deal in very diverse categories of product, right? So this is where you can see dry food, spices, jute bags, etc., etc. Upload everything, and most of the businesses have a 80-20, right? So 20% of the products that are giving you the 80% of revenue. Upload them first, and then you can keep expanding it in the future, but start with those in case your worry is that now this is a business which is into these products which are used for poultry and dairy farms, etc. Again, detailed information about each product is there, right? So detailed information, attributes, features, etc., all are there. In fact, even FAQs which are required by AI, they are all there, right? So you have to go to this level of detailing. Now, if this level of detailing or information is not there on websites, you are firstly not being considered by AI. And even if somehow it has found you, then the chances of it recommending you are low. All right, so this is where product is extremely crucial, and the more the merrier. The more products you can add, the larger will be your footprint, and they should be properly categorized. So it should not be like hypothetical. A lot of websites, in fact, in one of my previous session when I was reviewing, I noticed that straight away the products will move ahead. So this is where they'll not have any sort of categorization. So this is where you can see, I'm not sure how the URL is looking like or how big it is on your screen. So it is / our products and then spices. So this is where it knows that you are in a category. Now I am in a product. So it is / products, and then it has the product name, which is a premium turmeric for bulk purchase, etc. So product structure is there, proper structure should also be there. So even if you're adding the information here, if it is not properly structured, then your chances are again going to be low. So product should be properly uploaded. It should have its own page. It should have its own optimized title. Now this is where again, a lot of businesses, when they are uploading the product, they'll just add turmeric. We was looking at the turmeric product side. They'll just add turmeric. Now, this is where you have to be specific. Who's your target audience, and what is the geography? What is their intent? And based on that, you have to also understand the secondary keyword. Turmeric is the primary keyword, right? So that's there. What was the secondary keyword? So it's bulk purchase, it is import or private labeling. So those kind of things should also be included in the title, and you can see that here. And then you have the description, which is again need to have all the detailed information which is there related to the product, all the specifications, and it should be 100 to 200 words. That's the sweet spot. It can be more than 200 also, but then it gives the signals to Google that it is compromising on the user experience. So that's where it will have an impact on your search or SEO. So just stay in that 100 to 200 word. But that's where again, a lot of websites I had personally reviewed, they have very less information. Visuals are extremely important. You should have the product visuals, and then you should have the description. Try also adding FAQs to it. If you don't have already added FAQs, you should do that, because AI loves bullet points, and avoid long paragraph, right? So this is where you can see these are bullet points and short paragraphs. If you are adding long paragraphs and you have added 200 words worth of content, AI is not going to like it, and if it is not liking it, it is not going to use that. So it should be more bullet points and question answer, or FAQ form of content that you should be adding. All right. So that is related to the product. Now, the next and the fifth mistake is trust and authority. This is where you have to be more detailed. So, if I go back to the website, this is where, imagine we have found the website. Let's become AI agents, all of us ourselves. We are evaluating this website. Now we came here, we found this page, who we are, and we read their details, and we understand like, okay, it is a traditional business, 100-year-old, and they have all that. Now, how do we trust them? So for that, there are certifications that they have added. So we can go there and we can see all the certifications. Okay, this is a genuine and trustworthy organization. And then they also have testimonials and case studies. So we went there, we reviewed the testimonials, we reviewed the case studies, etc. Okay, so that's where we have that factor. Now, how do we be more sure that they are also a subject matter expert? So that's where we went to their blogs, and that's where we saw that, okay, they have also added a lot of interesting questions, and they are asking a lot of important questions to they're answering, they're not asking, they're answering a lot of important questions related to their business, which are all of importance to them, and that will build the authority, right? It doesn't end there. It goes to your social channels. It goes to your Google My Business also. So you should be regularly posting on all your social media channels, and your Google My Business profile should be optimized, and you should be regularly updating that also. So all that comes into picture. But again, the core remains your website, right? So you should have all the relevant questions so that your spokesperson can answer, and plus you have to keep building onto it, keep trying to understand. And it is also not a very difficult thing. You have to basically understand what are the questions that my potential customers are asking or may be asking. You can just go to Google and start typing your product, and all the responses that come, you can filter them out. Or there is a platform called Answer the Public. You can go there and it will give you all the lists. You can filter it out and understand, and then keep creating blog articles. It can be done by yourself also. You don't need a expertise or an expert to do that for you, right? So that's where, if you're not building trust and authority, and again, you're not intentional with it, you have to be intentional with it. And when you are intentional with it, you will create the plans, you will create the calendars, you will figure out, okay, I have to do 4 posts in a month. How can I create the content? What should I be posting? And uh, how will I generate the image? What will be the content? Or if I have to write 5 blog articles or 4 blog articles in a month, so how what will be the topic, right? So you have to be intentional. The first mistake. So once you are intentional, you'll figure out. But this is also important if you're not working on trust and authority, and this is also not a one-time exercise. You have to keep adding to it, right? So you have to keep working on it every month. It is not like you have to extensively get onto it, and every day you are working. You have to spend few hours every month and keep on it, and it will help you build your trust and authority. So that's the mistake number 5. There's a bonus mistakes, and that is mistake number 6. I generally take this mistake or mention this mistake upfront, but this is uh, today I've kept it at the last. And this is where, again, based on my experience of reviewing about 500 websites, I have noticed that many businesses have beautiful websites, right? So absolutely stunning websites they have, but they are not technically sound. What does that mean? So the structure I was telling you, the structure is missing. So straightforward, after the URL, you have the product name. Structure is missing, or it does not have schema markup, or the site is not indexed. There's some setup in the robots that is preventing the crawlers from Google, etc. So a lot of agencies, what they do is they'll give you the website, but it is hosted on their server, and there are many, many websites, so they don't want to impact the speed. So what they do is they put restrictions to stop the crawlers from crawling, because when crawlers are crawling, obviously it impacts the bandwidth, etc., and it consumes, right? So those kind of tricks are done, and because of that, you have created the website, you are thinking yourself, you are happy yourself, okay, I have a website, I have a beautiful website, so much content, etc. It is not giving you any benefit, because if it is not indexed, if it is not there on Google, then forget about having it discovered by AI, right? So it will not be discovered. And when it is not discovered, then what is the benefit, or what is the meaning of even having a website, right? So that's where you should also be understanding very basic technical audits that you should be doing. The first one is very simple. Just go to Google, type site, SITE colon, and then copy paste your URL. That's it. Second is schema. For that, you can go and use a tool called Schema Validator and copy paste one of your product URL and see whether it is showing the schema and the product. So it should be product. In fact, let me see if I can show you. We were looking at black pepper somewhere here. Let's open. I think we have it here. So the tool is called Validator, Schema Validator. I will provide the link if you want. Otherwise, you can search for Schema Validator, and you have to just copy paste it. The most important is product. So that's where you should be checking. So go to product, copy paste the URL, and this is where it should have two things. One is organization, to which organization this product belongs, and second is product. So at the rate, it should be product. So type product. This helps AI understand it. If you don't have this on your website, AI will not be able to understand, even if you have the world's most beautiful website and it has. Then PageSpeed. So for that, go to this platform called Google PageSpeed, and the Google trick which I was telling you, it is just site and then site, and then you have the URL. So you can just copy paste the URL, or let me just stop this and go to Google and show you. I think someone in the chat had shared their website, so let's use that so that we have a live example also. So you have to type site and then paste the URL like this and then press enter, right? So who had shared this? Nilesh G. Your website is indexed, but only 2 pages are there, right? So, and again, I think both of them. So this is going to products and this is going to product, but the meta is not updated. So this is a issue. Let's go to your website for a moment, and I am not sure whether it is my speed, but it took some time. So there's your website. So this is one, and there was one more page. I think cow dung products, which is also there. Other than that, and there are certainly more pages about us, and there are multiple pages. Cow dung fertilizer, agriculture products. These are not there on Google, and this is where you can see jaggery should be a product, raisin should be a product, pomegranate should be a product. Displaying them like this is not going giving you any benefit. Right? So this is an issue. All right. So this is how you have to do the technical audit, and these are simple audits that you have to do: page speed and the optimization, because we don't have products here, so obviously we can't do that. Let's use, there was some other website also which was shared. Okay, there were so many. Right, so let's have a look at one more. This is Vensa Cosmetics. This is index. So this is where you have the home page, and then you have the private label moisturizers, you have blogs, and you have about 80 pages which are there. So this is good. Let's go to one of your Okay, so most of the pages which are indexed are in fact blogs. That's where deodorants. Okay. So these are again not products. So while tester, care perfume, these are not products. And this where comes the structure part. So this should be like forward slash products, and then you should have individual products, right? So uh, these should be uploaded individually because otherwise it will appear as a web page. And for a moment, if we go to schema and see how it looks to AI, let's see firstly whether it has schema or not. It does not have schemas. Okay, so you have added so much information. AI is not able to absorb that. It's not able to understand that. So that's there. Now, very quickly, let's move ahead with one more. I may not be able to check like every one, but let's move ahead with one more. Okay. So this is also indexed, and you have about 10 pages or less than 10 pages, which are there. Now, this is where if you are seeing this grow where grow, this is your meta is products grow where group. Now, how as a importer it is telling me that I should be going and looking at your product. Our product range from various agriculture commodities. We focus largely on satisfying our global buyers. I mean, you are way too late. The banana powder is coming all the way here. Should be here starting with, right? They're looking, they're wanting to find a supplier of banana powder, and you have written it at the last, right? So your meta is not optimized. You should be getting it optimized. And let's quickly go to your website. Okay, nice animation. And this is where you have our products, and this is where you have banana powder. Okay, so this is coming from here. So the meta was coming from here. And then again, you have done the cardinal mistake not uploading the product, because this is where again your discoverability is significantly reduced because you don't have individual products. It is very important, crucial, essential to have important each product. Now moving to the next website, let's quickly have a look. Okay, so this is from Akbar, Mr. Akbar's website, and it is Akbarji. Your website is indexed, but one, two, three, only 4 pages are there. Let's remove HTTPS and see if anything changes. Again, only 4 pages are there, which are there, and they have almost the same identical. So as export, export and import service in India. Okay. Same, right? So this page, this page, this page, this page. So this and this are the same, and this and this are the same. So almost same, although this is for pulses because in the URL I can see pulses, but the meta is not updated, right? So despite the fact that you have the information, okay, it is for the pulses, and different pulses are there. And here again you can see the structure issue. It should be forward slash category, and then inside each category you should have products. So latest chickpeas, and again Akbarji, uh, the news is not good because this is where again you don't have individual product, right? So each one should be having a page on your website, and it should have 100 to 200 words worth of content. Only then you will become discoverable, right? So even if I push out AI out of the picture, even the basic discoverability is very low. if the meta is not optimized, only few pages are indexed on your website, right? So that's where, again, if I have to say it, and I hope you will not mind, this is where it doesn't look like you were intentional when you were making your website in becoming discoverable, because otherwise you may have gone that, or you may not aware what is required. So that may be a reason. All right. So that's where let's look at one more, and then we'll move to the remaining part of our discussion. All right. But this is where I hope everyone is getting a picture, right? So we have just very, very briefly, I haven't gone into the detailed review. If I go to the detailed review, I can point out so many things. So we are not doing that. We are just reviewing it very, uh, very on a uh, macro level. So even with that, you can see like how many issues we have noticed. So this is Bitchems, and yes, we have good amount of pages, almost 100 pages or probably more than that, and they are by Polymelic seller listing. What is seller listing here? And this is from Sanjay ji. Sanjay ji, if you're looking at my screen, this is by aspartame. I believe that's some chemical, but what is seller listing? It should be like buy this particular product in bulk or bulk import and all that. The low calorie sweetener, 200 times more sucrose in. Right? So this is again general knowledge information. This is not telling should be updated as per the product. So Meta looks like is not updated properly, and again, we have the structure issue. So this is your website's URL, Bitchems, and then it should not be seller listing. It should be products, and then you have the product. So this is where, again, the structure is causing that issue. Let's see if we have the schema here very quickly. Type, organization name, etc. And so it is also not helping you, because this where you can see it is not product. So even if AI is trying to make a sense of it, it will see, okay, this is a product. It will not perceive it as a product. And if it is not perceiving it as a product, it is not going to recommend it. So this is where now another issue is, because you have uh, all this pages already indexed. So when you'll make the correction and try to re-index them, that will again take time. So that's why it has to be done the first time, right? So that's where this is also not giving you the right discoverability, despite the fact that you have so many pages already indexed and they're on Google. All right. So this is something which I believe gives you a clarity that about the gaps which are there. Now, let's go back to the presentation and let's quickly conclude it. Obviously, you understand what is it causing you. It is causing you AI discoverability, is going causing you potential orders, and it will cause you your future orders also, because when a potential buyer will use AI to evaluate you, and because your website is not up to the mark, you will not get recommended, and it will cost you that as well. So what is the solution? The solution is something which I'm going to propose to you. And why am I proposing it to you? Because as I'd been saying that I had personally interacted with about 500 exporters. And as part of that initiative last year around August, September, we worked with about 100 exporters and tried to educate them and work with them in becoming AI discoverable. And the outcome of that initiative was that most exporters, because of multiple factors, lack of time, lack of know-how, etc., they are not able to do it themselves, despite the fact that they were intentional about it. Even if even after that they were not able to create the right content, etc. So we created this service which is called the Done For Me B2B website setup service, so that you can get a solution which can help you become AI discoverable. And because you may not be intentional about your AI discoverability, but we are intentional. So we'll do the research, we'll do the heavy lifting, and we'll give you the right products. And all these websites which I was showing you, if we can very quickly go back. So this website which I had shown to you, or this website which is from a agri product exporter. There's another website which is from a poultry and dairy supplements exporter. This is from a jute exporter. This is from a castor and foxnut exporter. Another agri products exporter, organic agri products exporter. There's another bag manufacturer and exporter. I think there's some issue with that. There's another bag manufacturer exporter. This is another business which is into dehydrated products, etc. So all of these businesses have taken our service, and they have made or become themselves AI discoverable. And a lot of people curiously ask me that, okay, as part of the service, what is that different that you do, right? So I'd been talking to you all this while about AI discoverability, pointing out like you have to do this, you have to do that. Okay, what have we done to help this business become AI discoverable? And I had been saying that as part of the service, you may not be intentional about AI discoverability, but we are, and it is our mission to make you AI discoverable. So we do the heavy lifting. So what we do is we research about that business, and we identify what are the important pieces of information, right? So the spokesperson knows everything, and they are able to answer it properly, right? So we do that research, and we identified, okay, they need these 11 pages, or they need these 8 pages. So it varies from industry to industry. It's not necessary that you may have. So we even have a person like here, you can see almost 8, 9 pages. So it varies from industry to industry. We do that research. Then comes the product. So again, product is not like you provided the product list, turmeric, we uploaded it. No, we do the research, identify where the target markets are, and who's the target audience, and what is the search intent. And after doing all that, we do the keyword analysis, keyword research, and then we optimize the product, right? So everything is optimized. In fact, let me try to show you an example which has a more detailed description, right? So everything is optimized, right? So the product title, the product description which is there, and even FAQs are written related to the product, so that the AI is able to understand this product in a better way and a more holistic way. So that tomorrow, if there's someone who's using AI to find a supplier of this product, or they're are evaluating this particular supplier, in both the cases, the supplier has all the information, the spokesperson has all the information to answer the questions which are there from the AI, right? So that is the value add that we bring in from the product side. Proper structure. This is where I'd been talking about the structure. So domain / product, and then product, right? So the proper URL structure, proper structure that way, and also for a moment, the schema structure is also there. Let it load. We'll come back to it. So this is where we intentionally work to make the business discoverable across all the products. And then the next phase is trying to understand what are the important questions being asked related to the product this particular exporter is exporting. And then we create content around it in form of blog articles to build that authority and trust. So that is also there, and certifications, etc. All these pages are created. They are properly designed. So it is also not like just the content. It is properly designed with bullet points, paragraphs, etc., with visuals, etc. So that is what we do. So that website, technically, structurally, content wise, product wise, keyword wise, everything is there to make it AI discoverable. All right. So that's how we help businesses in doing that. And that's where we have this service called Done For Me B2B website setup service. You can consider availing this service. The standard pricing for this service is 39,999, but we are offering it at a discount of 20 discounted price of 24,999. And I mentioned that I have a special gift for you, and the gift is that if you do the purchase today or before 12 p.m. tomorrow, you will get 9,000 rupees special discount. That's a limited period offer that we have. 9,000 rupees straight away. So this will become 15,999. I will provide you the promo code. So I'm sharing the link in the chat for everyone's reference, and I will also provide the promo code. So you can use the promo code and you can get that discount. So the promo code is just a second. Okay, so I've also given the instructions. Now, how to use this promo code? This is also something which sometimes people ask me, so I'll just quickly show you. So you have to go to this particular page, and here you'll see this button, Get My B2B Website Built. You have to click on it. On the next screen, you have to input your details, right? So you have to input your first name, company name, email ID, mobile number, GST number, address, city, state, etc. And then you have to copy paste the promo code that I have provided to you. Click on apply. The code will get applied, and this is where now you can see the price has changed to 15,999. So 9,000 rupees discount you will get, and then you have to make the payment. But it is only valid till 28th Feb. That is tomorrow 12 p.m. After that, you will not get the discounts, right? So this is a limited period offer that we are running, and I would suggest that if you are interested or if you are intentional about making your business AI discoverable, then you should use this opportunity. This is a great opportunity which is available. All right, so with this, I'm going to turn off my screen share, and we'll break into the question answer round. If anyone has a question, I can see only one question is there. So if you have not added your question, please do add that. I'm also going to share my contact details. So if any one of you has any doubts, etc., you can reach out to me. So let me also share that in the chat. I'm also sharing my phone number in the chat, so you can, in fact, let me also share a WhatsApp link so you can directly chat with me on WhatsApp. All right, so I've shared that. Now we'll start with the questions. All right, the first question is from Grovier Group, and I think I had not been clear in my explanation. So this is where let me start sharing my screen once again. Just allow me a quick second. So The question is, he mentioned that I should be scrolling down, and that's where you have added the information. Uh, the point I'd been trying to make, and am sorry I'm not being able to explain to you properly, but this banana powder should be a page, not a piece of content on one of the page, which is product. This is not going to give you, if you have added like one paragraph here, you can add 10 paragraphs or 10 pages worth of content. It is not going to give you any visibility unless you have it as a independent page on your website, right? So banana powder should be a page, moringa powder should be a page, and it should be uh, group forward dot com forward slash product forward slash banana powder. That's how it should be. Otherwise, you're not going to get any benefit from it. All right. And let's, for a moment, let's also check what is the schema. What is AI looking at it? Okay. Now, with this, how will AI understand? And this is a web page. So it is type web page, URL ID, etc., etc. Here's the banana powder here. Okay. Just banana powder. No information about banana powder. It is not giving you the visibility that you have dreamt of. So if I have to be a little blunt, and please apologies for that, this website is not helping you with the growth or whatever you wanted to achieve with it. So that was one question which is there in the question answer. Let's quickly have a look at the chat also. So the lowest question is from Mr. Sanjay, and Sanjay ji is saying that they are a B2B marketplace which help connect buyers and suppliers. So Sanjay ji, this is where you need AI a lot more as compared to even a individual seller, because this is where the discoverability and a lot of aspects for that you are going to need AI. So that's where, because your buyer, and for any marketplace, it is important that a potential buyer is able to find your seller. Now, for that, AI is now one of the channel and the most important channel, right? So that's why it is not that they are going to find you. It is the seller who is there on your marketplace. They are going to find you. But unless you are yourself AI optimized, they are not going to find you. I hope that's clear. Okay. So there was one MacTech office. So sorry, I was not able to review your website, but you can drop me an email or you can drop me a message on WhatsApp and I can review it and share my observations. Okay. Now, so there's a question from Sunanda, and the question is it WordPress theme? No, we have built our own platform, and I believe you are not uh, familiar with Global Inker. So we are a platform that helps businesses in going digital and growing digital. So at one end, we have our website development platform, so which is used by users like you or businesses like you in building their own website. How are we helping them grow digital? So that's where we have two marketplaces in India. One is the Indian business portal, which we have created in collaboration with FIO, which is the Federation of Indian Export Organization, a apex export promotion body by the government of India. So we have partnered with them and created Indian Business Portal, which is a B2B marketplace for exports. And second is the Global Income Marketplace, which is our own marketplace, which is a cross-border B2B sourcing platform. So where domestic as well as international sourcing happens. And very soon we are also going to open it to other countries, for example, Sri Lanka. So Sri Lankan sellers will be listing their products and Sri Lankan buyers will be able to buy from Sri Lankan sellers and Indian sellers. And similarly, although on Global Income Marketplace already international buying happens, but it will be more extensive as we keep opening it up. Right, so that's a quick background. So the website we will build will be on our own platform. And that's where from the costing part. So for the first year, you'll get it at a discounted price. Second year onwards, you have to just pay 5,000 rupees, which includes your hosting, tech support, etc. And we host on a PCI DSS certified infrastructure, right? So it is one of the most secured infrastructure that you'll get. Uh, Next question again from Sunanda. How many pages are included? So there is no limit. 100 products are included. About us or the business information, minimum is 5, but again, it depends on the research. If we feel there's a need for 10 pages, we'll create 10 pages. Also, same is for the blog articles. Minimum is 5, but we'll create as many as possible. In fact, I feel there's a need to walk you through the deliverables also. So allow me to share my screen and I will quickly walk you through the deliverables which are there. All right, so let me start sharing my screen and I will just quickly. All right, so we are back on the offer screen. Now, very quickly, I'll walk you through the deliverables. So first is the product part, which is the core because the search is happening for the product, right? So no one is looking for ABC Enterprises or Imperial Exports or Elegant Exports, right? So they are looking for products. So that's where product upload with content optimization and adding all the specs and attributes and then updating the meta, right? So that's the product part, the first deliverable. The second is the business information pages. Minimum 5 business information pages will be created with AI enhanced content and then meta update. Again, based on research, if we see there's a need, we'll create more pages. Then the basic SUS setup. So that's where I showed you for many websites, uh, the meta was not optimized. So meta optimization for all the pages, then adding 5 blog articles. Minimum is 5. We may add more and integration with a Google's platform for ensuring proper indexing, that is Google Search Console. Design wise, we have a theme based model, so wherein we will recommend certain themes to you and you will review and select one of them, and then our design team will create the banners and they'll do the color customization, and then we will also list your products on Global Income Marketplace, on Indian Business Portal. If you're a B2C seller, we can also list you on ONDC, and then your Global Inker profile is also updated. So all the sellers have a profile. Let me try to show you an example. Yeah, here. So we have some business called RNY AgriTech, and this is their profile, right? So this also has to be updated because otherwise, if it is not updated, then a buyer or potential buyer may not proceed ahead to send you an inquiry or raise an RFQ. So we also optimize that, and this is appearing in your search, right? And for some businesses, I've seen that this profile outranks their own personal websites also. So this is very important. We also optimize it, and then we do training sessions with you, right? So in future, if you have to add blog articles to improve your authority, or if you have to respond to a RFQ, or if you have to add more products, we will train you. And we have a dedicated project manager model, so you don't have to talk to 20 people. There is just one person who will coordinate and oversee their entire project, and the timeline is 15 days. So from the date we receive the information, within 15 days, we'll turn around the project and hand it over to you. You will review it, and that includes review and accommodating the feedback. And even after it is completed, so we have handed over the website to you. Even after that, for the next 30 days, a person is available. So if you have a question, query, etc., you can reach out to that person and that person will clarify. For B2C sellers, we also do payment and shipping integration, and it includes for the first year this platform subscription, which is worth 5,000 rupees. It is included, right? So that 15,999, it also includes 5,000 of the platform subscription, right? From the second year onwards, you have to just pay this, which includes your hosting, tech support, password subscription, everything is included. So you don't have to invest on anything else. The only expense that you will do in addition to this is your domain. And that is your intellectual property. So you are obviously going to buy it yourself. So other than your domain, you don't have to do any other expense, or you don't have to do any other investment. All right. So this is the deliverable. These are the deliverables, right? So this is where we have also clarified how the entire execution happens. So within 15 days, you'll go live, and then we'll have the support, right? And all the FAQs are also added here. So if you have a question, you can go there and you'll find an answer, or you can reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. All right. So there's a question, what is schema markup? So schema is uh, schema is a schema markup language, which is or schema markups which are used by AI to make sense of information which is there, right? So there's something on the front end and there's something at the back end. So schema is there at the back end. It helps AI understand that information in a better way. So it is sort of a mm, unspoken rule that if you don't have the proper schema on your website, then there is a certainty that you will not be understand, or your website's information may not be understood by AI. So it is very, very crucial. And many websites we have reviewed don't have that. All right. Any other question? Next question again from Sunanda is what do we have to provide to start working? So you have to provide brief information about your company and products. So whatever information you have to provide that, and then we can work on that, right? So you don't have to get involved with the integrities. We manage all that. If you're hiring us, that's where it is our responsibility to take everything forward. Whatever you have to provide that, and then we'll work on that. All right. So okay, so there's a interesting question from Mr. Biju. What is the benefit for who have paid? So benefit primarily, and this is where firstly, it is the discoverability, right? So the business was not discoverable. Now it is discoverable, right? So one is discoverability. But interestingly, few of these businesses who have availed the service, they have also benefited. So the perfume example, which I was showing you, they received an order from Italy. It is a initial order, small quantity order, but they will be getting a large quantity order once that gets delivered and the buyer has experienced the product. So that's where they have an early success. And then there was Lakshita Organics. They have also received a bulk order from, or they are in process of finalizing a bulk order from USA for basmati rice. So yes, it is also helping them out with the discoverability and transactions. Uh, Next question is from Devish, and the question is, can it be done with our existing website URL? Yes, certainly it can be done with the existing website URL, certainly. Uh, Next question is from Mr. Biju. Is there a walkthrough after getting online? Yes, certainly there is. So there's a training session that we conduct with you after it gets completed and online. Any other questions from any other participant? Because I believe we have overshot our time by 20 minutes. but happy to take if there are any questions. There's one question I can see in the Q&A, and that is from Vinu Vinod. Can we make use of automobile products from your platform? Now, if you are asking, can you list automobile products? Yes, certainly you can do that. Or if you have other requirements, you can reach out to me and we can have a one-on-one conversation as well. I would want to understand more of your question and then provide a response. All right, so I am guessing there are no further questions. So this is where let's conclude the session for today. All right, so next question is from Tusharji. We have to crack buyers on our own. Yes, certainly you will have to. The service that we are providing is helping you make AI discoverable, right? So without AI discoverability, whether you are doing it through us or through some agency or you're doing it yourself, it is crucial. Without that, you will not be evaluated by AI, and which is used by most of the buyers nowadays to evaluate suppliers. So even if you are doing a direct reach out or they are searching for you or you are running ads and trying to bring them to your website, in any case, whichever route you are going to the buyer, in all the cases, AI discoverability is crucial, right? So yes, that is the cornerstone now. Your website is the most crucial asset that you have, and that is what we are providing to you, which will make your business AI discoverable. Perfect. So this is where we will conclude the session for today. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to getting started on your projects. And you should use this opportunity. It's a great opportunity which is available. You'll get 9,000 rupees discount, and use that opportunity if you're interested in making your business AI discoverable. And we will conclude the session for today. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time. Have